Okay, and we are delighted now to welcome Busisiwe Moni, who has been participating in the Intermediate Expert Witness Training course. And it's lovely to meet you in virtual life. It feels like in person these days. We're so used to it, but
Yes.
yeah, it's fantastic to put a face to the name Busisiwe. And I find with these interviews, we really, we like the interview to run for about 25 to 30 minutes to give people a bit of an understanding of who you are as a person, but seen
Mm.
particularly through the perspective of your professional life. So, and I think that gives people a good window into you and your practice. So, welcome, and I'm really looking forward to the interview.
Thank you so much for having me, Advocate Dutton.
It's a real pleasure. Okay, so Busisiwe, let's just start off with the first topic, which is tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us just in a nutshell, what type of work do you do? What type of professional you are?
Okay. Well, I'm a physiotherapist, and I've been practicing as a physio for about 9, 10 years now. And basically, my work currently involves seeing inpatients, outpatients, treating patients basically for the different conditions. I've also had the opportunity a couple of years back, I think 2, 3 years back, of being involved with case management of medical legal cases. So I think that's where uh, the interest, and now the love for the medical legal field started. And that's when I wanted to learn more about the medical legal field, and then had more interest in now doing assessments and being involved basically in the medical legal space.
Okay, excellent. And then just tell us a little bit so that we can just get a sense of this. Where are you based currently?
I'm currently based in East London, East
East
London,
London.
Eastern
Okay.
Cape. Yes.
Okay, great. And where did you do your qualifications?
I did my BSc in physiotherapy at the University of the Western Cape. And then I went on to do a master's in public health at the University
Mhm.
of Fort Hare.
Okay. And do you find what drew you to that master's degree? What interested you in particular about that aspect?
What interested me is that I love being in the medical field. I love
Mm,
helping people.
mhm.
Um, I love the interaction basically with assisting and helping my clients and my patients. But more so, I think from the experience of being um, in the public sector, initially, you get to see a lot. You get to see, I don't want to say injustices, if I can put it like that, but you get to see a lot, and you need to sometimes work with what you have, and so forth. So I think the masters in public health field, I became more interested in being in studying that, so that maybe one day I can be a part of the, I don't want to say the big people, um, being a part of the people that make decisions when it comes to health, whether it's infection control in the hospitals, whether it's like part of the teams that come up with policies and how that works and so forth. So I think that interested me into doing the masters in public health.
Very interesting. And then
Mhm.
the two things that I picked up, you talked. I'm picking up quite a strong passion for your profession. You talked about your love for medical legal work, and we'll get onto that in a moment. But just to sort of just to expand a bit on this public health interest. Um, you said part of the problems, or that we got challenges, right?
Mm,
Resource challenges,
yeah.
administrative challenges, institutional challenges. And what I'm hearing from you is that you would like to be part of the solution, finding solutions to those challenges. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yes, yes, advocate. I'd definitely like to be a part of coming up with the solutions.
Yeah, at like a higher level, so not just at a grassroots level
Yeah.
or coalface, however you want to put it. But of course, you've got the experience now. And let's maybe then move on to your professional experience. So tell us, once you finished your masters, what happened next?
Once I finished my master's, I continued to work in the public sector. I had the opportunity to head departments, physiotherapy departments in the different hospitals that I've worked in. And in those instances, you need to come up with standard operating procedures. You need to see if policies are being implemented in the correct way within your department and so forth. So such things made me want to go the masters in public health route, learn more, see what else I can do. The hospitals. There's I don't know what to call this now, but like the department would come and assess, if I can put it like that. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot the specific word now, but the
Sort of
department.
an audit of it. Yeah.
Yes, they will come and audit your department. So I got to experience that, I think, at one of the hospitals, and it was such a great experience for me because I learned a lot. I also saw the gaps within the department, having not been prepared for that by the specific hospital, but I got to learn a lot, and yeah, so I got to improve my own department in that aspect as well.
Yeah, so through that sort of reflective process of
Yes.
almost like I know when that sort of thing happens, I haven't been through that specific experience, but been through similar experiences where you're evaluating your own work, but from a different perspective, right? And
Mhm.
suddenly you're getting a more objective view of what it is that you've been doing, and then you sort of put that within context. And sometimes you realize
Mhm.
there are deficiencies. Hopefully, you also realize there's certain things that you're doing very well. But
Yes.
that's very interesting. All right, and then let's just then turn to like now your medical legal work. You mentioned that in the beginning of the interview. Tell us a little bit more in a bit more detail about the medical legal work that you've been involved in.
Okay. In terms of case management, it's basically been ensuring that the beneficiaries of um, the medical legal cases are getting what they are supposed to get. So
Mm.
motivating, ensuring that they're going to the hospitals, seeing the medical professionals, getting the equipment that they need, um, and so forth. And I also got to go to court for the first
Mhm.
time a
Right.
few years back.
Mhm.
Without prior experience, I had to be a witness in one of the cases. So that experience also taught me a lot. I was briefed with the case and so forth, but like all those instances, I thought, you know what, I need to do more. I need to um, attend courses such as the course I'm attending now, so that I can ensure that I know what needs to happen, and yeah, I understand it a bit better. I know the process, the language, and so forth.
Yeah, no, I think that's an excellent idea. Sorry, you were going to say?
Uh, no, I think I was also going to mention. Then I was approached by an advocate as well to do an assessment, and in that specific case as well, I thought, okay, I know how to do the physiotherapy part of assessing and treating clients, but now I think the frustrating part was, okay, now how do I put this together for the medical legal case? What's important, and how do I ensure that I'm doing the correct thing in terms of the assessment, so that the report is also beneficial to the client that I'm assessing, to the advocates, to the court. And it's not a back and forth thing. It comes back, or whatever the case may be, this needs to be fixed. So, yeah.
No, very much so. And that's why what we do is as you know now, because you've been through the certain of the modules, and what we do try and do on the course, and I'd like to get your feedback on this, is to take the sort of legal principles. Because the challenges that you trying to that area that you're operating in is an extremely professionally challenging area, because it's
Mhm.
not it's your qualification, your experience really starts off in a different domain completely, which is healthcare. And
Mhm.
now suddenly you're having to sort of fit into really what is a legal domain. The process is legal. And even though, as you've seen, you play such a valuable role in that legal process, it's a little bit of a fish out of water. You haven't really been equipped through your university qualifications, and also often very sort of little equipment as far as even your training and experience is concerned. And now you suddenly have to fit into all of these legal requirements, which is obviously, it's challenging. And so what we try to do is you've seen with the expert report, we try to take those principles, the first part of the course, we try and explain those principles on a more academic level, but where we look at the practical cases and then start integrating them into the report, and then we move on to the actual giving some advice about preparing for trial, which is really interesting. So I don't know, if you have any comments on the course. How have you found the course? Has it been helpful? Has it been what you expected?
Yes, no, definitely, advocate. The course has been very informative, because initially I'd found myself wanting to, or being confused in terms of, is there a specific format that I need to have in terms of how I structure my work? What's more important? What do I need to put in, and so forth? So the course has definitely been very informative and very helpful. Understanding that, okay, there needs to, the assessments are quite lengthy as well. You need to support your facts and so forth, but also understanding that there need to be an executive summary that you need to put in, so that, like in the court, they won't be able to read through the whole 40 pages, 35 pages, and so forth. But they
100%.
need to be able to page through your report and see all the important aspects of the assessment, the recommendations for the client, and so forth. So it's definitely been informative on my side, and very helpful, I must say.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear that. The thing is that at the end of the day, it's a course, and really there's no substitute for experience, going out and applying this
Mhm.
information. But what we try to achieve is to give you at least a good foundation, a good general understanding that you can then build on through your experience. So you've got a solid foundation, and hopefully you learn a lot within a few weeks. It might otherwise take you a few years, or if you would ever even learn that. So that's what we try to do, and thank you for that feedback. It's very encouraging. And then just moving on, what are your aspirations now? You've given us some hints, I think, about what your. It sounds as though you've made good progress during your professional career, and what are you hoping for in future? How do you want to develop your professional life?
Uh, I'm definitely still hoping to be a part of those teams that are coming up with solutions, whether it's within the health sector, whether now it's within the medical legal part of things. But um, even in the medical legal aspects, I don't think I have that a lot of experience with it. It's just been a couple of years, but I'm hoping that I can learn more and be able to do more within the field, and also make my part and my difference within the medical legal field.
And you mentioned that you're involved in a court case. Did you have to actually give evidence in that case?
Yes,
So
I
you
did
went
have
in,
to give.
you went into the witness box. You
Yes,
went
I
through.
went into the witness box, and it was very scary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
It
went through
was
the
very
fire, you see.
scary.
Now, the reason I ask that is because, it's such an intense experience, and it's a sort of experience that I'm sure you'll agree with me. No one can ever explain to you what it's going to be like. You have to experience it for yourself, right? Um,
Yes.
but the sort of flip side of that is it's the type of thing that even if you've only been in the witness box once, you've learned a tremendous amount through that one time, So we at the time that we record this, we haven't yet done the trial prep, and that module is coming up next. But I'm sure you'll find that from that module, you're going to be particularly interested, and you will
Yes.
be able to relate to it in real life. Anyway, no, certainly that definitely is the case. And what I'm saying to you is that, the fact that you've even had that experience, you have a very steep learning curve in this initial phase of this type of work. But a breakthrough point is where you've actually been through a trial. You've actually got in the witness box. As scary as it was, it's actually a badge of achievement because you've now got that practical, real life experience of having gone
Mm,
through that, and that changes your view on everything else, you see.
yes, that's very true. And I must say, no one can really prepare you for that.
No.
Um, but what I noticed was that it's quite important. You need to um, basically the information that you know, and the like the correct thing, whether it was through the assessment, like you need to say what you know, what is true. If you've got that in hand, then yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be able to manage.
And I think, you know, that executive summary which you referred to will also help you a lot in that respect because, as I said, I mean, I find that in my work, so it's not just common to experts or to attorney. It helps me tremendously in my work when I'm in court. If I could write a short summary of, let's say, if I've got the case, if I write a short summary, I always talk about that one introductory paragraph. What is this case about? I was taught by a very good advocate, Chris Moni, SC, who's now in New Zealand, but he wrote a very good textbook on the subject. And he trained us how to do legal writing. And one of our subjects to qualify as an advocate is legal writing, a very demanding subject. And one of the things that Chris taught me is he used to always say, keep it simple, stupid. But he was quite kind about it. He was joking. He said it with tongue in cheek. But what he was getting at is he said, you must try and get things so clear in your mind that you can explain them simply.
Mm,
And you know, if things are complicated in your own mind, you battle to explain to somebody else. So, and
yeah.
and and the other related point to that that you know that through my experience I've realized is that it sometimes takes a lot of hard work to simplify something.
Yeah.
And sometimes the test of do I understand this properly is if I can put it in one paragraph. So
Yes.
that is also why I said during the expert report module that your executive summary is such a good exercise because it'll force you to check, do I actually understand this case correctly? Or are there gaps in my knowledge? Maybe I
Mm,
understand the facts properly, or maybe there's another expert report which I need to supplement or to that I need to draw on. There's a report missing, or do I have, even simple as, do I have all the correct documents? But
yes.
that executive summary really helps you to focus your mind and then take it from there. All right, Busisiwe, so we've got a few minutes remaining. We're going to start wrapping up this interview. Are there any sort of final thoughts or comments that you'd like to make in relation to the course and to your practice in general?
Um, I'm happy with the course. Learning quite a lot, and yeah, I can't wait to go through the whole course, even what's to come. The last few modules, because I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot from those as well, and be able to now from the next case that I'll get, the next assessment, the next report I'm going to write, it'll definitely make a huge difference. That I'm sure, because I've learned a lot even like from the first few modules. So yeah, no, thank you so much for coming up with a course.
No, it's a pleasure, and yeah, and
Definitely.
I'm sure that that will be the case. So, you know, and it's very rewarding for me to hear that it's actually helping people in practice, and you know, I'm sure that as you go on and you gain more experience, there's certain aspects of the course that maybe now you know you sort of aware of it, but as you go into specific situations, you realize, oh, okay, yes, this is what we were talking about, and then you grow
Mm,
your practical experience and knowledge and eventually, you know, you get yourself to a position where you've now got a quite a vast body of experience. But it sounds to me as if you're doing just fine from what I'm picking up. So, congratulations on all your professional achievements. Um, I
thank you so much.
know I know what it takes to get there, you know, and I really want to honor your professional background and where you are, and I sincerely wish you all the best for your future, and I hope you get to those points, and I would like to see how you tackle some of those challenges because they are formidable, but the
Yeah.
rewards, if we
Mm.
get even improvements, we can really improve the lives of patients and practitioners. So
Yes.
I wish you all the best in that.
Thank you so much, Advocate.
Thank you so much, Busisiwe. Lovely meeting you, and I will see you in the course again. And now I can put a face to the name, and I look forward to further interactions and getting to know you better.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
sir.
Busisiwe. Cheers, then, right. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you, bye.